Combat air patrol is a type of flying mission for fighter aircraft. A combat air patrol is an aircraft patrol provided over an objective area, over the force protected, over the critical area of a combat zone, or over an air defense area, for the purpose of intercepting and destroying hostile aircraft before they reach the target. Combat air patrols apply to both overland and overwater operations, protecting other aircraft, fixed and mobile sites on land, or ships at sea. Known by the acronym CAP, it typically entails fighters flying a tactical pattern around a screening or defended target, while looking for incoming attackers. Effective CAP patterns may include aircraft positioned at both high and low altitudes, in order to shorten response times when an attack is detected. Modern CAPs are either GCI or AWACS controlled to provide maximum early warning for defensive reaction. The first CAPs were characteristic of aircraft carrier operations, where CAPs were flown to protect a carrier battle group, but the term has become generic to both Air Force and Navy flight operations. Capping operations differ from fighter escorts in that the CAP force is not tied to the group it is protecting, is not limited in altitudes and speeds it flies, and has tactical flexibility to engage a threat. Fighter escorts typically stay with the asset they are supporting and at the speed of the supported group, as a final reactive force against a close threat. When an escort engages, the supported force is left unprotected. CAP types. Numerous types of combat air patrols have been employed by U.S. military forces since World War II. BAR-CAP. Barrier Combat Air Patrol. In fleet terms, a mission flown between a carrier battle group and the direction from which it is most likely that an enemy attack will come. Also refers to fighter aircraft placed between a friendly strike force and an area of expected airborne threat, also known as a MiG screen. CAP strike. Aircraft with a primary CAP role and a secondary strike role. Such aircraft are permitted to jettison strike ordnance and actively pursue any enemy aircraft sighted, and are not restricted to defensive encounters. Fast CAP combat air patrol to protect fighter strike aircraft. FORCAP Force Combat Air Patrol, a patrol of fighters maintained over the strike force, essentially an escort. HAVCAP High Asset Value Combat Air Patrol, flown to protect a high-value asset, such as an AWACS aircraft or aerial refueling aircraft, during its specific time on station. MiG-CAP, used primarily during the Vietnam War. A MiG-CAP is directed specifically against MiG aircraft. MiG-CAP during Operation Linebacker became highly organized and threefold. An ingress MiG-CAP of 2 to 3 flights that preceded the first supporting forces such as chaff bombers or SAM suppressors and remained until they departed the hostile zone. A target area MiG-CAP of at least 2 flights that immediately preceded the actual strikers, and an egress MiG-CAP of 1 or 2 flights that arrived on station at the projected exit point 10 minutes prior to the earliest egress time. All egress MiG-CAP flights were fully fueled from tankers and relieved the target area gap. RESCAP Rescue Combat Air Patrol, a fighter force, are often drawn from aircraft already in the area, used to protect personnel on the ground from ground threats, as well as combat search and rescue aircraft or other rescue forces from both ground and air threats. SARCAP Search and Rescue Combat Air Patrol, an earlier version of RESCAP. Slow CAP, a combat air patrol to protect slow aircraft, such as the EB-66, B-52, or EC-121 during the Vietnam War, replaced by HAVCAP. Strike CAP, aircraft with a primary strike role and a secondary air defense role, permitted to jettison strike ordnance and engage enemy aircraft only if directly attacked. Strike cap aircraft also have an egress cap. Roll 1 strike ordnance has been delivered on target. TARCAP. Target Combat Air Patrol is flown over or near a strike target in order to protect specialized attack aircraft such as AC-130 gunships from enemy fighters.